they're set up so that they actually look like they're coming off of the pavement is extraordinary. And I love seeing that people are celebrating their community by everyone is coming to see these. It's just very, very cool.
Okay.
Hi and welcome to beautiful downtown Mexico City. Behind me is Palacio de Bellas Artes, one of the most iconic buildings in the city here. And so last night, I picked someone up at the airport. Look who joined me for Valentine's Day. So we are together for a week here in Mexico City, and we're also going to be traveling to some neighboring areas. We are in the Palacio de Correos, which is the main Mexico City post office. It's an amazing building that was built in 1907. It's amazing in the sense that the architecture and the interior are just incredible, but it's still a functional post office. So it was heavily damaged in the earthquake in 1985 and was restored after that. So it's kind of separated. There's a museum side to it, and then on the other side there are actually people lined up to use post office services. What a day it's been. It's just after 5 p.m. here. We're standing in front of the Palacio de Bellas Artes, the Fine Arts Palace that we just visited. So I'll tell you about our day. We woke up early and we took an Uber out to the pyramids of the sun and the moon out in, what's the name of the town? Teotihuacan. And that was pretty amazing. So there are two main pyramids there, but it's an entire complex and city that dates back to I think what was it, 300 AD, which is just amazing. The way back was a bit of an adventure because we couldn't get an Uber out there, and we looked into getting a cab and it was way too expensive, and then Winona spotted a bus, and the bus ride was cool because there were some musicians on it.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really, something's happening. But yeah, it was really beautiful and a little warm. They opened up a vent.
One of the hatches, actually.
Yeah, one of the hatches. And then played some music for most of the drive. It was really nice.
And the bus actually ended up taking us to the North Bus Terminal, which is where we're going tomorrow anyway. So we checked that out, and it's a beautiful terminal. It's nicer than a lot of airports. So we did have lunch there, and then we took an Uber back to the historic part of the city here. And then we rushed over to the museum to check out the exhibit, which was closing at 5.
And we made it, luckily. It
faded.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Diego Rivera's work is, of course, on show there. His murals, highly politically inspired, as per the era. And oh no, I'm already Federico. What was the other artist's name? De Silva.
De Silva, yeah, or just Silva.
Silva. I think it was Federico Silva.
Silva, yeah.
Prodigious artist who spanned all the way from the 50s to contemporary times, and yeah, generated numerous sculptures, paintings, and wrote books all throughout that time. Somebody I'd never heard of, so that was a really nice thing to learn.
So we're gonna go rest for an hour or two. Yeah. So we've done a lot of climbing. The pyramids have really tall stairs, and we went up and down a lot of those. And then we're gonna go out and try to have supper on one of the many sort of rooftop patios that
we weren't able to catch an Uber back, so we're not available, but we caught a bus, and then this happened.
Sé que me quieres y yo seré tu adoración, en mi recuerdo grabado estará tu nombre. Toda la vida te esperaré y serás mi gran amor. Cielo mío, ¿por qué me dejas llorando? No te olvides de mi amor. Si tú bien sabes que tenerte es mi ambición, te esperaré. Sé que me quieres.
We are here in Teotihuacan, just outside Mexico City, where we're visiting an archaeological site which contains two pyramids, the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. So we got here by Uber. It was about a 20-minute ride.
If you get the same driver we had.
Yeah.
It was like being in an episode or in Mario Kart.
His name was Julio Cesar. Give him a shout out to Julio Cesar. Julius Caesar, yeah. And my Uber driver the other day was Jesus, so I'm 2 for 2 with great Uber drivers. So this site, these two pyramids, so Pyramid of the Sun, I should say, is 65 meters in height, which makes it, according to Wikipedia, one of the highest pyramids in Mesoamerica. There it is behind us, actually. And Pyramid of the Moon is way down there, which we'll be heading to shortly. So these were built around 200 AD. So 1800-ish years ago, and interestingly enough, they were abandoned about 350 years later, and then later rediscovered by the Aztecs, abandoned again, and then excavated in the early 1900s. The excavation was eventually interrupted by the Mexican Revolution, and so this place has a lot of history from a bunch of eras. We got here relatively early, around 9:30, I think, and
that's definitely the time to show up. It
yeah.
gets really hot here.
And the bus tours started arriving around 10, it looks like, so we beat that. It was only 90 pesos a person to get in, which is like $6-ish, so really good deal. Bring sunscreen, bring a hat, and be prepared to climb up these things, so wear adequate footwear.
Yeah, and they're very large steps.
It's a bit of a quad workout.
Yeah.
It's the original CrossFit.